So today we're here in to see it. Going to Farseer Inc. And we're going to do some upgrades. So this is Engineering Live on how to get grade 5 FSDs. Frameshift drive. So, welcome back, pilots and commanders. So join me and let's go see what we can do. I apologize if I don't sound my normal chipper self. I'm kind of under the weather and things have been dragging me down a little bit lately, but I'm still here. So, alright, let's go and visit Farseer. First we're going to go down and go to the engineer site and look at what the requirements are. We're going to go over the whole thing. And we'll even do the whole thing because, well, if we can, we might as well do everything to upgrade your FSD. And I'm not talking about, just doing like a grade 1 or grade 2. I mean, all the way up to grade 5. What do you need for grade 5? Now, there are a couple of different ways we can get this done. But I'm going to show you a couple of efficient tasks on how to find things like the data mined wake sessions. Alright, so let's get down here and see what we can do. And again, thanks for joining me. Okay, so this is probably one of the things that a lot of people would like to know about, including myself when I started playing after the engineering came out. Because I've always been interested on how can I improve my FSD. How can I get further jump range, faster spool up times, whatever. But I'm more interested in longer jump ranges. Because of course, if you want to go longer distances across the galaxy or across the bubble, you need to have better FSD jump range. Now you can do that two ways. You can lighten the hell out of your ship. The lighter your ship is, the further you can jump. You can also do engineering on your frameshift drive, which gives you the ability to jump longer distances even if you don't lighten up your ship. But of course, if you do a lightweight build strictly for exploration and you put a engineered FSD on it, that will give you an incredible amount of jump range. So we're going to try the Asp Explorer. This is a ship I haven't had this ship in a while. I upgraded to the Python from this ship a while ago, and I just kind of retired, went and sold the Asp that I had, and decided, it was a fun ship. So I wanted to build another one, so this is that ship. Okay, so this has been basically pulled out of mothballs. Okay, so Farseer is on the backside of this planet. We need to get around the planet first. When you unlock this engineer, Felicity Farseer, you will get that marked as a bookmark. Let's get into glide, and then I can show that part. Okay, so you do need horizons to do this, because it's planetary approach. To do anything planetary, you need horizons. So if you got horizons, you can do this. Alright, so I'm going to get myself at right around a 45-degree down angle, and that's what I found tends to work best for me. Alright, let's go until we do our orbital transition. There we go. And I'm going to throttle down because that way I don't crash into the surface when we exit. Alright, so what do we got here? So, we got engineers. Oops. Let's look at our engineers. Okay, so the one we are concerned with. Get my mouse control here, there we go. We want Felicity Farseer right here. She does grade 5 FSDs. She also does engines and thrusters up to grade 3 on engine, or grade 1 engines, grade 3 on thrusters. So what do you need to do to enable her, unlock her? Well, you find out from her from playing the game. You gain access from having a pilot rank of Scout or higher. That's for exploration. So that means you got to do some exploration to get this. And once you've done that, you've got to go to the Maya system, buy yourself at Daniel Progress, buy yourself a meta alloy. Now that's a little bit of a trip. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at where that is. So let's view this on the galaxy map. Okay, so what do we have here? Do you see it? That's pretty on the edge of the bubble, so you got to do a little bit of traveling to get here. Notice I got a lot of bookmarks going on now, different places. Okay, so what do you need to get the stuff to unlock? So the meta alloys, they only come from the Maya system. That's where you have to go. Oops, I think I got the wrong one here. Nope, I got the right one. Okay, so as you can see, that's a little bit of a trip from one to the other. Alright, now this is, 389 light years. Showed me there for a moment. Come on, there we go. Sorry, 389 light years to the Maya system. And to get the metal alloys themselves, you have a couple options here. See, that's Obsidian, Hans Hub. Alright, so anyway, go to Obsidian Orbital, and Daniel Progress, you can get to here. So actually you can go to either one of these. Moni's Hub, but this planet right here is the one where Daniel's Progress is actually, if I remember right, that's the one that's actually there. Let's double check here. Daniel, oh, that's Palin, sorry, pardon me. That's Palin, so we need to go back over here. It's on this planet. That's where Daniel's Progress is at. Come on. Service map, thank you. Alright, so right here. Daniel's Progress. This is where you need to go to get the metal alloys. And you'll be looking at about 101,000 credits, so not cheap. High value target, high value cargo. Then you got to transport that back 389 light years to get to Felicity. Alright, so once you've given her the metal alloy, you've unlocked your access to her. So that's pretty easy, and it's a little bit of a trip and requires a lot of jumping, but it's very, very doable. And you don't have to do the ridiculous grinding that you have to with some other engineers. Alright. It's going to try to... You going to do it or not? Thank you. We'll let the computer dock so we can chat. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at what do we need material-wise. Most of what we need I already have to do this. But I have another ship, I have a gunship federal gunship that I recently built that I haven't done any frameshift drive upgrades on, but I've engineered the weapons, power supply, and shields on already. So I want to give it a little better FSD because the jump range on that is absolutely miserable, and I want to find out just how good of a jump range we can get this Asp Explorer. The Asp Explorer is going to become more or less my mission ship, along with occasionally using the Python. I like how nimble this is. It's fast. It has a good boost speed, especially with grade 3 dirty drives. Eventually I'll unlock grade 5 dirty drives, and we'll do that. Alright, so we're going to go into this. Once you've unlocked Felicity, you can go in here and you go to the Engineer Workshop. And this is actually where you go to donate the metal alloys as well. Alright, so once you've donated the metal alloys, you will see the screen. Now, I've already gone through and unlocked quite a bit on these because I've done a lot of work on different ships. FSDs are what we're looking at today. This is what we're going to focus on. So if you notice, I don't have anything on this particular FSD. So we want to go with increased range. Now for increased range, you've got atypical disrupted wake echoes. So you need at least 3 of these. You don't care necessarily what the range is. You want 3, at minimum 3. Because you need to do 3 rolls to get grade 2. And you don't have to keep the rolls, you don't have to apply the rolls, but you have to do the rolls. You can discard all of them, discard the last one, and just, you're done. Okay? Move on to the next. So you need 3 more atypical disrupted wake echoes here. And you need chemical processors. Alright, so how do you get atypical disrupted wake echoes? You scan ship, or go to an area where ships are hyperspacing in and out, like around a station, and you scan the wake echoes. And we're going to do that. Alright, so chemical processors, how do you get those? Notice I've got some anyway. You get those from blowing up haulers, type 6s, type 7s, keelbacks, and type 9s in anarchy systems, and there are a couple nearby. So you can do all of this just really close to see it and Farseer Inc. And I'll show you where those are in a moment. Alright, and then we've got... Actually, we can go to the galaxy map right now, can't we? Let's do that. Okay, so... We're going to look at galaxy map. I'm going to change my filters here. I normally go by star class, and I use KGB foam for my routing. We're going to change that. And we're going to take this by security. And I'm going to look for any system that's an anarchy system. Okay, so we're going to start nearby here. The best one I found so far is Delanavale. Okay, so Delanavale, like I said, you can find anarchy systems here. You go to the beacon, scan the beacon, and ships will just start jumping in. And you watch for all the cargo ships, all the transport ships. That'll give you, when you destroy those, you can scoop up all their materials and you'll get the components for that. Alright, so let's go back here to the engineer. Okay, so that's chemical processors. Now, we want to go grade 3. Here you're going to need phosphorus. Where's the best place to find phosphorus? Get an SRV, go down on a planet that has high metal content, and you will find phosphorus. Typically, you find a good amount of phosphorus in and around craters. Sometimes you'll find them out in the open, but most of the time I find them in and around craters. Okay, you also need chemical processors. So notice, some of these overlap. So you need at least 3 rolls in each of these ranges. Okay, strange wake solutions. You're going to get 6, or you're going to get, you want to have, yeah, I believe you need 6 for that too. Oh, no, you only need, let's see, strange, we got atypical. So we'll go over this again, atypical, then strange wake solutions. So this is the only one you need the strange wake solutions for. Same way you get those is just go and scan hyperspace wake signals. So you need a wake signal scanner for that. Right, and then we're going grade 4. Grade 4 is changing up the phosphorus. You switch it out for manganese. Okay, chemical distillery, which again, you get it from blowing up haulers and transport vessels. Also looking for, you can find those at unidentified signal sources. Unidentified signal sources that give you like debris. So degraded weapon or weapons fire detected, threat 0. Also, if you have any like combat debris, you'll find some of those that says degraded combat signal, things like that. Also, if you do high-grade emissions, you can also find them there in debris. Okay, so eccentric hyperspace trajectories. if I can talk today. We're going to get those also from scanning wake signals. Now these data signals you need tend to be the ones that are like, okay, how in the heck do I find those? Yeah, Combat Aftermath is a very good one, Shreds. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to need arsenic, which also can be found on high metal planets. And to see it has several high metal content planets. So you can find those right in this system. Chemical manipulators. In fact, I'll show you. We'll go find some of the metals we need. Okay, chemical manipulators. You also find those. You can get those from all kinds of transports, cargoes, keelbacks, you know, any of the transports, T6, T7, T9s. Blow them up, scoop up materials, move on. Alright, data mine wake exceptions. This is one that I didn't find for a very long time, and I found a really reliable source for those. But it's still RNG. Random number generator. Okay, so we're going to find those. So let's start off. Let's get some of what we need. I already have chemicals here. I already got some of what I need. In fact, I have everything I need for grade 5 for this particular ship. Come on, get rid of the... There we go. So what I want to do, because now I've only got 3 rolls for chemical manipulators. So we're going to want to find some more of those. Alright, so let's just do the steps one at a time here. So we need, like I said, we're going to do just the grade 5 because I already have that unlocked. I want to get out of the station because, well, we can't do much in the station here. Now, I do have an SRV on board. We're going to make use of that. Let's go over to the daylight side of the planet. It's a little more interesting. Okay, now I already have grade 3 dirty drives on this. So it's a pretty spunky little Asp Explorer. Alright, so I don't need to go super high, but I do want to get around to the daylight side of the planet. Yes, Shreds, yes, that's another good way to do that. The refugee transports. You will get plenty of chemical manipulators for that. I need to get a little further away from the planet. I am going really slow. Wish boost would work in FSD, but it doesn't work that way. There's an unidentified signal source. I don't care about that right now. We're doing planet-wise. Okay. There we go. Now we can get around to the sunny side. There we go. Oh, slow back down here. Let's see, we want one of them craters. Anywhere we've got craters, we've got opportunities. Let's aim for that one right there. That looks good. Alright, you don't want to be full throttle when you start coming down here. If you will damage your ship if you exit too fast from orbital. Alright, so we got this transition coming down. Well, we might not have much of a crater as it looks here. What do we have here? We have a base or a big rock? No contacts, so it's not a base or a city. It's just a deep hole. Okay. Let's go down and find a place down in here to set down and... Oh, it's a mountain. It's a hill in the middle, down in the bottom of a canyon, or a crater. Our landing gear out. See if we can find a suitable place to land and get our SRV out. Wonderful. You gotta be careful with these dirty drives. So, oops, says alignment okay. There it goes. Anyway, I gotta be careful with the dirty drive tuning because I have a habit of slamming down into the surface because the thrusters are a lot more efficient. It's not good for the hull or the shields. Okay, and just to keep... We're going to dismiss the ship just to get rid of that signal interference. Off you go. Alright. Now, we want to find arsenic and, well, a couple other, like phosphorus, arsenic. Alright, so the little scanner at the top. If you notice, there's that bar that's that signal that's sweeping across, and it has the little hashes on it. Alright. That tells you that there are signals, or there's something on the ground. Basically, that's harvestable. If it's on the top of that scanner, it's not harvestable. It's like a structure, a ship. It's something that you can't harvest. But if it's on the bottom, it's harvestable. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bebop along here until we find a signal, a strong signal we can home in on. Looks like we might have one coming this way. These rocks will usually look a little different. They'll have like a metal gloss to them if you find a good one. Okay, it looks like we've got one over this way. Now, when it gets real dense and gets the sharp edges on it, like that signal right in the middle, you're homing in on a resource. I've had ones where I've had multiple close together, and I've gone right by them because it looked like I was further away. So we should have one right over in this hill area, in this little clump. When you do find one that's you can mine, you will be able to target it. Here we go. See that little gray rock and all the rest of them are tan colored? That's our target. So just shoot the rock and let's see what it gives us. Sulfur, zinc, and nickel. Alright, well I don't really need the sulfur right now, but let's go ahead and grab it. Couldn't hurt. Oop, if I can get off the rock here. Thank you. Open your cargo scoop and voila, you have it. You have to target it to scoop it up. That's the key. Welcome, Old Peculiar, and everybody else that's watching. And yeah, I'm just trying to get a couple of new ships upgraded, so that's why I've been doing this. Alright, so we need another one. Now we're going to watch our scanner again. And it looks like we have sources over this way. Now I've actually found everything I've needed resource-wise right on this moon where Farseer Inc. is located. And I don't think that's by accident. I've had a lot of people tell me, and friends that have played it say, oh yeah, we gotta go other places to find it. You know, there's another moon in this other system, go check that out. you get more resources there. But if you go around on this moon, you find everything you need as far as the minerals go. $18 arsenic, good deal. So you're after 30 rolls. Okay, we got another one coming up here. What do I got right now? Materials. Right now I've got 15 arsenic, so I could use a bit more of that too. And I'm getting full on other materials. I did some weapons upgrades because I was at full capacity of materials. Data, same thing, but now I need to get some more. So the data mine wake-up sessions, I didn't have any of those this morning when I started. I'm up to 9. We'll go over those in a moment, or next. So right now we're going to see about finding some more of these resources. See what else we can mine while we're here. And it really is random what you get on these. There's no, I mean, there's some of them where there's types of rocks that you can detect. Let's see, I think we've got a better signal over this way. Saw a rock that looked different here. Aha! Thought you were going to get away. You were hiding. So we got sulfur, vanadium, and zinc. I'm going to pick up the sulfur. Oh, manganese, we're going to need that. Well, I'm not going to need that, but cargo scoop. Let's get the manganese because, well, we need the manganese for grade 4, but right now I'm not doing grade 4. Sulfur. Let's back up. There we go. Vanadium. Why not? Need that for some of my weapons upgrades. Zinc. Okay, so what do we have now? Inventory, I want to go materials. Alright, so we still need more arsenic. As you can see, I've got quite a bit that I've... So we got 3 manganese out of that 1 rock. That's a better way to do it. Yeah, that's a very good point, Shreds. Yeah, you can find, a lot of times you can find the resources for that engineer right where the engineer base is located and around it. Just have to go explore a little bit and you will find it. Alright, so it looks like we got a couple of resources up here somewhere. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is when you're exploring around in your SRV like this, you need to make sure that you have enough fuel. Now, if you do run out of fuel, you can, and also you can do hull repairs. While you're running around, you need to keep an eye on how much fuel you have. But you can also make fuel. So if you do run low on fuel, park here. Don't I guess repair and drive. You can go down to synthesis on the inventory tab, and you can do refuel, which has the highlight on here saying that I do have what I need to do refuel. So we're not going to do the refuel right now, but what I need is sulfur and phosphorus, and I can make fuel for the SRV. Okay, so if we need to make fuel, we can, and it tells you how many it needs and how many you have. But this is a really good way to top off the fuel on your SRV when you're exploring around too. That can extend you from, you know, maybe 20-30 minutes of exploring to days, as long as you don't destroy your SRV from doing a lot of really harsh driving. But it's still fun just to get out and play. The whole point of this game is to have fun, isn't it? Now, if you do destroy your SRV, you'll pop back to your ship wherever it's currently at. Oh, we got another one hiding over here. Where are you at? Right ahead of us. There it is. Bronzite. What are you going to give us? Phosphorus, vanadium, iron, nickel, carbon. I need carbon for another upgrade, but we'll grab that. The phosphorus we want. The iron, I got a pretty good amount of iron right now. Okay, are we going to bug out here? Where are you at? Oh, there it is. Scoop it up. Vanadium I know I need. That's for another project. And nickel, let's see, iron is really good. Nickel and iron are really good for repairing. There it is. So this is for repairing your SRV. So now if I want to do SRV repair, now I have what I need to do repair. And we'll back up because it's over here somewhere. There's a cargo scoop on the bottom of this SRV. It's like a little vacuum cleaner. You don't even have to be particularly accurate with it. You have to get somewhere underneath it and we'll pick it up. Alright. So let's see if we can find a couple of more. It'd be nice to have a little more arsenic so I have more rolls, because that currently is my limiting factor. Yeah, we got nothing going on here at the moment. Might have to go to a different area. Or just a different section inside this crater. So you're just gonna buzz along until you find these signals, and I know there is a pattern to the signal. I haven't done this enough to really figure out the specific signals. Now we're not looking for those individual spikes like that. It usually doesn't give us much. We want to find the signal source that gives us a wide band. Okay, so we got a little bit of a signal up ahead. Let's see if it gets stronger. Sometimes as you get closer, it will get stronger. There we go. Somewhere up ahead, we have more. Again, we're going to keep an eye out for those metallic rocks. As you saw earlier, it's real easy to drive right by them sometimes. Now these rocks will spawn back, and you will get random things when they spawn back. So you can make a little loop, or you can, if you need to, you can go out and quit and come back in, reset the session, and it'll put most of the rocks back, but they do tend to spawn slightly different areas. So it won't necessarily be like right back where you found it at. There we go, now we got a nice strong signal up ahead. Yeah, I did this with Minnie a couple of days ago, and that was a lot of fun. He is absolutely the over-engineering master. So if you're not familiar with mini kill, there we go, bronzite. You need to really check out a lot of his videos. They are extremely helpful. Alright, so out of this one we got sulfur and phosphorus and vanadium. Well, let's get the sulfur because, well, fuel. Oh. Did I go too far here? Pop back this way. Sometimes they really move. Oh, it's going downhill. Yeah, part of getting these on a hill, sometimes they roll. Phosphorus. You can see it actually rolling down the hill. I'm glad they did that, actually. It gives us good physics. Tells you gravity's working. Right, vanadium. Let's pick up that. And that's for another project. How am I doing on cargo space now? Yeah, I'm starting to get up there full that I want more arsenic. I want to find some arsenic. Alright, got another signal up ahead. Looks like we got 2 potential signals ahead. We got a rock this way. And it looks like we have one off to the right as well. Alright, so I don't think we're going to do the, like, grind the entire thing out with all the resources on the planet, because while I already have some of what I need, like about everything I need for grade 5, I would just like a few more opportunities. There's another resource. Oop. No. Every once in a while I see one that looks like it could be a harvestable mineral, and it's not. It's just the way the shadows are. So we got one right over here, and yeah, you can see it right over there on the hill. Oop, did I go past it? I went right by it, didn't I? There we are. There you are, you little bugger. That's night. Manganese, sulfur, cadmium. Hey! This is what I was looking for with Mini. Let's pick that up because I do need that. Again, that's for a different project. But while I'm finding it, why not? So far, no arsenic, but so manganese, I need that. And sulfur, the zinc, I don't really care about, and the nickel, I don't really care about right now. Ugh, off the rock. Thank you. Let's find one more and then we'll go and see what we can do about harvesting some manipulators. Yeah, in fact, let's see. I'd say that's pretty good. Let's get to a spot where we can call the ship back. Should be able to land down here. It'll be a little, hopefully a little flatter. Flat enough is all we need. Alright. Probably not the best place. It'll find us. It'll find a spot for us. As you can see, there's a signal source right up here. Let's go check that out because we're close. The ship will come down and figure it out. Of course, if we get too far away from the ship, it'll take back off. cadmium, and here comes the ship. We'll take that, thank you. And manganese. Oop, where'd you go? Manganese, manganese, where'd you go? Alright, it's hiding on me. Turn back around, see if we can find it. Did I get it? No, I did not. Sucks. Where are you at? Here you are. Got it. Okay. And the ship decided to land right over here. Now, if you recall your ship and you get over 2 kilometers away from your ship, it's going to take it back off. So that won't help you out. If you're doing this in open, I highly recommend you never leave your ship sitting on the surface. Even if you have crewmates there to help out. Okay, here's a good example. See the scanner? How it's showing we have dashes across the bottom. Then when we look right at the ship, there's dashes up off at the top. Okay, that's how you differentiate if it's a building or if it's a man-made structure. It'll be at the top. If it's a resource, it'll be on the bottom. That's the easiest way to describe, I guess, that, or the easiest way I think about it. Oop, can we get in here? Wow, that's glitchy. Let's try to go from the back. It's usually how you can get in and out anyways, the back. Wow, that was a little glitchy. Can we get in here? Yes. I have the game sounds down quite a bit right now, so you won't hear all of the little hints necessarily. And welcome to everybody that's recently joined. Alright, let's see about going get some of those mined data exceptions, get some more of those. Landing gear up. Get off the planet. Get out of mass lock. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Garay Terminal. Can't do it until we get into Super Cruise. And we're just going to build altitude while we plot this out. Now, I have a couple other ships at Garay Terminal, so that works pretty well for me. Alright, let's get some altitude and then we'll turn and face the station. I want to get some speed built up so it doesn't take us a year to get there. See, look, a year! Greater than 1 year. Yeah, if you go to the Anarchy system that I showed earlier, Shreds, that's pretty reliable. I've been able to get a lot of stuff there. It has a lot of transports in. I got a lot of thermal plates there as well. Heat dissipation plates. Alright, it's going to take us a couple of minutes to get there. Always kind of slow when you're taking off from a planet. Alright, so to do this part, we're going to need a wake scanner. And you don't need a real super powerful one. But you do need one. Oop. Should be fair. Oh wait, that actually takes quite a bit of power. It's gonna be up here. There you go, frame shift wake scanner. Now I didn't go with a very high-end one. Oh, it doesn't even tell what the stats are in it. Anyway, so yeah, it's just a 0C rated. It's not an A rated. Power was my concern. The A rated gets a little bit further distance, it's like 4 kilometers. 3 is good enough. Usually you can get pretty good amount within with boost range. Yeah, it keeps you pretty close to the actual data. So a little bit of patience, I guess, while we make this next hop. Might be quicker if I leave the system and come back. Have a couple of engineers that I do that with, especially at you're going in and out of Sirius. Marco Quint. Yeah, that one is 10,000 light seconds from the station to the engineer. So when you're going to the engineer, you don't have any choice but to do the 10,000 light seconds. When you want to go back to the station, you can jump to a neighboring system and then jump back in. And we're going to do a... Oh, hey, we're not going to get slung by it with a gravity assist. Oh, we might still, but we're almost there. Okay, so for the mind data wake exceptions, that's what we're looking for now. Now this is one of the best places I've found to get them, or any station. You can get them at around any station, because you have a lot of ships that are high waking in and out, and the high wake, those are the signals we're looking for. And you can, with this, again, you can use the board hopping to get more. It is still random number, you know, just RNG, so. So figure if you're going to do upgrades like this, you do want to figure it's going to take a few hours to gather the resources. But it's very doable. In fact, I'm going to change ships anyway to go do the Anarchy system. This one is not really, well, I guess this would work. They just don't have a lot of engineered weapons on this. But it would still work. It's got good shields. It's got decent weapons. I guess we could use this. I want this to become my mining ship anyway, or it's my material gathering ship as well. So why not? There we go. Okay, so we're back at Gray Terminal. Basically I just usually stay outside of the no-fire zone for this, because they complain about you having your hardpoints out. Let's get the wake scanner up. Now, let's see what we have. We're looking in contacts. We want to look for anything that pops up saying high wake. If it's high wake, we're going to scan it. Okay, so there's the station. Yeah, we can just be somewhere in front of it. That'll be pretty close. That gives us a couple kilometers around to scan. This is the part where you have to have a lot of patience. Sometimes new ships will pop in and you can scan them right away. You'll get shield data off of those as well. Yeah, Shreds, that's a really good idea, having multiple ships if you need to. That way you don't have to keep reconfiguring one or the other. It's a really good way to do it. Yeah, this ship I'm going to use for map gathering and also have a reasonable amount of mission availability on it once I configure it for that. Well, probably actually set it a little different. I don't have a lot of cargo space on this one, if I recall. Let's see. Oh, inventory, that's where you can tell that anyway. So yeah, I got 32 tons of cargo, that's all I can get in this. Which is still pretty good. But if I want to do material gathering, I have to get rid of a couple of modules, or at least I got to swap out like my fuel scoop or another module for a limpet collector. Alright. Wow. It's like totally dead here right now. Distribution centers, that's another good one for wakes. Yeah, I said normally I find some pretty good amount of traffic here, but this is not being very helpful. I think it's the game just knowing that's what I'm looking for right now. Nothing? There's like nothing here. Nothing at all. Well, let's try something different then. Now watch as I'm jumping out, I'll find them. Nope. Game's not going to help. Oop. That's right, hard points. Jump on over here to see what in this anarchy system, see if anything's going on. Valende 14146. Yeah, that's really good tip, Shreds. Thanks. Appreciate that. Definitely good to know. And of course, anytime we go into another system, scan it. If you're not sure you've been there, you may just find something in there. Don't really need a fuel scoop for this one, but that's a habit. Dalanoville, it's our next hop. Kind of spoiled with my DBX, I can easily do that in one jump. And we're going to get the ASP, hopefully, to that point as well. Now, I usually don't do any super crazy engineering. Try to get good rolls, and if I get exceptionally good rolls, then absolutely take them. But I don't do the over-engineering quite the way Minnie does. He has that down. Like again, he's the master, in my reference. I've learned a lot from his videos, and he's very good. If you aren't familiar with him already, go check it out. Look up Minnie for Elite Dangerous, and you will find a lot of great info. Pimped up clipper. That actually sounds pretty nice. I've played around with the clipper a little bit. For combat, I guess combat it's good. I didn't try it for harvesting. That's actually an interesting thought. It does have a lot of internal spaces. Yeah, one of the ships that we're going to do the FSD upgrades on today is my federal gunship that I just built. That is strictly for harvesting for merits. That's all it's for. And also for grinding combat rank. Alright, let's see what we got here. Contacts. Keelback. And I haven't really played with this ship in combat, so weapons aren't set up with anything crazy. I do have thermal shock, and I can strip the shields pretty fast as long as I can keep getting its engine power in here. Well, it's not doing too bad with its keelback. I wish I had a little bit bigger guns on this, though. These are going to run out of ammo real fast. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to let you bring your shields back up. Okay, so what does he drop for us? Scrap, scrap, scrap. Nothing good. Oh, chemical processors. Okay, with the dirty tuning on this, let's get the cargo bay open. Kind of worried about overshooting this. Let's get it lined up. Usually with farming, also the limpet controller works really well for collector limpet. It's much more efficient. Yeah, I got my Python set up pretty well for combat. So occasionally I drop take out one of the hull reinforcements, and I'll drop in a collector limpet, and that works pretty good. Let's see if we can get this without slamming into it and destroying it. If you hit these too hard, you will destroy them. There we go. And we'll just kind of creep in. And there we go. Okay, we have chemical processors. Metal scrap, metal scrap, metal scrap. Mechanical equipment. No, don't need any of that. Now, sometimes ASP explorers that drop in here will give you the chemical processors as well, and also the thermal plates. Let's go scan the beacon, and occasionally scanning the beacon will get other ships to pop in, or more ships too. Hey, we even got system data download. Okay, good. Now what do we have here? Federal agent. Don't care about that right now. A lot of federal agents. Too bad I'm not farming NPCs right now for merits. Those would be handy. Alright, so we know we can get chemical processors here. So it's just a matter of the ships jumping in and take them out, and away you go. Okay, dropship, dropship. Federal gunship, more agent, agent, agent. And with this, you can hop in and out, which will sometimes force them to respawn. Now, sometimes I get too many system authorities in, and it seems that they'll start killing everything before I can get to it. Like somebody's got a dumbfire missile here. Taipan. I don't care about any of that scrap that's there. Alright, let's do this the quick way here. Oop. Cargo scoop in, that'll help. Oop, goes back in. Hitting all the wrong buttons today. Alright, let's give it a moment going away from the beacon. And we'll turn back around at it. Yeah, this is going to be effectively the same as board hopping, because it resets the instance. And will hopefully give us some more hauling vessels. Diamondback Scout, that's not going to help. Where you at, ships? Where you at? Yeah, outbreaks will be a little more activity packed. $577, that's actually a pretty good boost speed. It's a very good boost speed. I've got a Cobra I want to play around with a little bit and see if I can get that up to about 530, 540. It'll be a lot of fun. Of course, the Cobra Mark III has one of the better boost speeds. I think it's the best boost speed in almost all the ships. It's in the top 3. Now we're right at the nav beacon. Oh, that was, pardon me, I'm chewing on some ice here. Gotta scan the nav beacon. It says we're there. That's interesting, the nav beacon isn't showing up. But I just hit it. Oh, there it goes. Now it's... That was interesting. I had to punt the nav beacon for it to register. That's funny. Wake up! Here, do we get anything useful out of that? Nope, just system download. Compromised nav beacons, you tend to get some pretty good ships out as well. Another keel back, there we go. Not too bad for a bunch of Class 1 multi-cannons. I think the beams actually do a little more. Yeah, let's get those shields right back down. And pop. Alright, anything good? Oop. Chemical processors, chemical distilleries. Yeah, let's get those both. So I don't like them when they're against the sun, though. Makes it a little more difficult to see what you're doing. Alright. Now you do have a time limit to pick these up. That's why the collector limpets tend to be more efficient. Let's slow down so we don't destroy the material. Perfect. Ah, heat dispersion plates. Gonna need that also. Weapons upgrades. Multi-cannon upgrades. And those multi-cannon upgrades are for this ship. I think I might just make it look like I know what I'm doing on this. Heat dispersion plates, where you at? You're back here somewhere. There you are. I need you for grade 5 multi-cannons. Yes. And in the bin. Okay, I think that's good enough there. Now, let's go back to Farseer. Throw away the hard points, got the cargo scoop up. Yeah, this isn't too bad. 440 for the boost speed. Be real nice if I get everything on here. Oh, the grade 5 upgrades I'm doing are for both the ASP and also for Federal Gunship. Now, the Federal Gunship is... I just want to upgrade the FSD on that because it sucks. The ASP, I want to upgrade that because, well, it's one of the better ships for going out and exploring and mining. And if I want to do missions that take me more than 20, 30 light years away, I can do it in one jump easy enough and have more capabilities than what the Diamondback has as far as what I can do configuration-wise. Yeah, Shreds, I was playing around with my Anaconda setup to use that as a multi-role as well. And I didn't really like the results on it too much. So I decided to start making that more combat focused. In fact, one of the next projects I have for that ship, or one of the next upgrades, is to put that as reactive armor. We are getting a little toasty. It's a downside of the grade 5 power upgrade I had to do, power supply I did on this. Yeah, so can we find out? Modules. Power supply. Where you at? Am I just so power plant? Show info. So, oh, grade 4, pardon me. Grade 4 overcharged. That's right now we've got this putting out quite a bit more than 25 megawatts. And how close am I on power usage? 99%. So I can't do too much more. Kind of running out of resources on this. Yeah, I lost about 11% of my heat management. Yeah, the Corvette is pretty sexy for a combat ship. I do like the maneuverability of it. Yeah, the Hondas, I'm finding out, are very, very capable in combat. But you have to do really good dirty drive tuning. Alright, let's actually, let's just go right down. Well, I want to go back to Gray, see if we have any action there, and then we'll go back and do the upgrades. Let's top off our tank a little bit. Again, that's habit. Yeah, if you want to do a really good trip that will definitely get you the unlock for Palin, go to Cerberus. Take a like a DBX or an Aspen Explorer. Give it a grade 5 FSD and go to Cerberus. Not only, I mean, it's like 13,000 light year round trip. It's about 6,500 light years from the bubble. That will get you not only a really good jump range trip, but that it's absolutely phenomenal visually. You jump into the middle of 3 stars. Don't try to fuel scoop, you will overheat. I had critical temperatures on my my Aspen Explorer when I went there, and oh boy, jumping in my Aspen Explorer, which at the time had an A-rated grade 1 upgrade on the power supply, it overheated immediately. Yeah, so if you want a really good good trip to do that with, yeah, that's worth it. Cerberus is absolutely worth the trip, and it will give you the distance you need for Palin. Okay, so as soon as we jump in, it looks like we have a wake signal. Nope. We have an actual... Oh, we got a transporter coming in. Yeah, we're not going to fire on this one. No, that's not what we're here for. Now, it looks like they're probably going to dock. They don't always dock. Sometimes they'll just jump out. Well, he's out of my range. Probably going into dock. Yeah, we just want wakes. Do we find any? Come on, game. Any at all? We just saw somebody jump. Did they jump in or out? Well, they jumped in. Very legal. Bernard's Loop is another real good one. Beagle Point, if you want to go all the way across, but that's a long trip. Probably look at doing a trip like that with the Asp. I know the DBX can easily do that. It's still a long trip. Currently with my DBX, I only had it up to 47 light year jump range. That's with a grade 5. Let go of the button there, that doesn't help. And did we get anything out of that worthwhile? Another atypical disrupted. Let's see, this one have not scanned. That one was close. Okay, so these are the high wake points we need to find for this data. We're looking for data mined. Anything atypical? Alright, so this is just part of the grind for engineering. So now these are the kind of wake signals that I was seeing earlier today. More atypical. Alright. I thought I already got this one. Maybe not. Yeah, it's close by. We'll scan it anyway. Doesn't have the destination site on. Maybe I didn't scan that one. Now we scanned it. More atypical. So we're going to get a lot of what we need for grade 4. But occasionally you do get what you need for grade 5 here. Let's see. That's 13 kilometers. Let's just boost over to that one. Pardon me. And start scanning, so when we get to 3, it starts picking it up. More atypical. Okay, well, we do have a couple of them. What do I have right now for data? I want the data mined. Data mine away exception. So I got 9 of those, so that's 9 rolls. Yeah, let's try that out. So I do, I have 2 ships to outfit, so let's see what we can do with it. Alright. I want Farseer. Well, if you don't want to go to Beagle, that is a huge distance, so I don't blame you. You might still consider Cerberus, because that will give you that will unlock Palin for you, and it'll give you a huge amount of data to sell. I think I made 15 million on data, and I didn't scan every system I went through. I mean, I did a system scan, but I didn't do a surface scan or scan all the stars. And that really would have paid off a lot more if I had. And Cerberus is on the way to Sagittarius. So if you get there and then you look at it, you're like, oh, hey, I'm not that far away. So we got a few minutes here for this. Let's take a look here. Galaxy map. Don't think I have a bookmark for that anymore. No, I don't. Let's see if I spelled it right. No, I didn't. Cerberus, or with a U? No. Okay, so I'm not spelling it right because it doesn't like it. Okay, so obviously I'm not spelling it right. Alright, let me get the right mark here. Oh, it might not be... Okay, it may not be the system. So that is the right spelling, but that's not the system name, that's the problem. So let me find that star. And what system it's in. Let's see. Cerberus system, well, that should be where it's at. Huh, interesting. Well, can't find that at the moment. But I do need to make sure I'm not hitting a planet. There we go. Oh yeah, we're getting close. Anyway, yeah, Cerberus is definitely a great place to check out. I'll have to see if I can find the constellation or the star system that it's in and put that in the description later. Or maybe I'll take another trip out there and I'll scan every single system on the way out and back. Might be a little fun to go to Sagittarius A and then just, pardon me, have a piece of ice in my mouth. Pardon me, you can go to Sagittarius A and then go through the wormhole, or the black hole, and see where it pops us out at. And then work my way back. Alright, so what do we have here? So currently we're at 24.14, maximum of 25 light years. Yeah, one of the things I did, if you want to get more for your exploration, closer to elite in exploration, one good thing to do is to go out about 3,000 to 4,000 light years from the core, from sorry, not the core, but from the bubble, and go out and find systems, scan entire solar systems that nobody else has found yet. So you get the first discovery bonus on those, and also scan all the planets that other people have discovered but haven't scanned themselves. So if the star system they have first discovered on, somebody else has first discovered, but if they haven't scanned the planets, scan the planets, because if you find anything interesting, you get a bonus for that. Plus you get data for scanning the planets. And there is Farseer in the dark again. Alright, now we're going to see what Felicity can do for our drives. Yeah, California Nebula is not far enough. Witch Head isn't far enough. Cerberus definitely is. There's a couple other nebulas that are far enough. You could go out to the Formidine Rift. If you go out the right direction through the Formidine, you'll go more than 5,000 light years. Yeah, Palin, I actually unlocked Palin when I went to Cerberus. And still have to do the... still have to give Palin the goods, the materials to unlock him. Yeah, I've heard Nebula West is where people have been seeing or getting interdicted. Or in that kind of area. I'm more in it for exploration than I am looking for the Thargoids, but it'd be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting add-in to the game in 2.4. Yeah, let's put some power into engines here so we can actually get there. And not take us all evening to do it. There we are, and press docking. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check out the loop because it does look interesting. Now, as far as where I'm at normally, I have my ships all down in the Empire space down in Wuji right now, and pretty much, well, aside from the ones I'm doing engineering on, those ships are kind of spread with near whatever engineer they're at, or that they're needing work at. But the majority of my ships right now are down in Wuji. I kind of like being there. Decent amount of money potential, good missions, good rank progression. It's been working pretty well for me. It's afforded me to buy multiple ships. I think in the past 2 months, roughly, that I've been in Wuji, I think I've earned probably about 700 million there. Of course, most of that I've put into ships and upgrades. Alright, let's go ahead and repair and restock. And before we do any work, let's put the integrity back. And yeah, I want to keep my paint nice and shiny. That's personal preference. And to the engineer workshop. Alright, so back again to FSDs. We have no upgrades on this FSD right now. Currently, we have 25.38 light year maximum jump. And we want to go farther. So now what we have is everything we need for all of these. But I don't need to roll any of the lower ones because I've already got grade 5 unlocked. We're going to get 3 attempts on this because chemical manipulators we didn't find. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and see if we get a reasonable jump range on this. I don't want to use all 3 of the attempts on this ship because I do have one more. Pity I can't use the same FSD between the 2. So optimal mass we want really, really high. Hopefully we get a little bonus. Okay, less mass is good. Boot time is good. It's not bad. You know, we're going to apply that and see if we can do a little better on another roll. Now, what did that do for us? Now we're up to 34.7 light years. So that's 9.5 light year increase. Not too shabby. Do one more roll on it and see if we can get a little better. Come on, Felicity, let's see some a little better optimized mass. We have a lot of room for improvement on that. No! Come on, Felicity. There we go. No, that's not enough. That would actually decrease the range that we currently have. Yeah, that made it heavier. So that's a worse roll. That's an example where engineering is not your friend. No benefit. And I don't want to waste the last roll because, well, yeah, we're going to discard that. That's still a decent upgrade, but it's not maximized. I think I'm probably going to put this FSD in maybe my DBX, and then put the one from the DBX in this. If it actually, the DBX has a size 4. No, it has a size 5. Yeah, because he's this also has a size 5. Popping outfitting real quick and check that out. Well, I could actually, I should have. Well, I can look at the shipyard, but I'm not at a station that has a shipyard. Yeah, because this has a size 5 in it. Oops, and core. If I really want to make this distance, I'll derate most of this if I want to do one for exploration. Yeah, so size 5, that's not bad. But like I said, it's... I'd like to get a little better roll on that, so I'm going to have to mine some more processors for that. That's fine. Like I said, I've got one more ship to grab and see what we can do on that. Any upgrade, that has no engineering on it right now on the FSD on the for the gunship, so any upgrade on the gunship is should be a benefit. Well, it will be a benefit. Let's get away from the mass lock. And of course we can't plot until we get into Super Cruise. Let's go get our gunship and see what we can do with that. So my first roll ended up being better than the second roll. Now if you really want to get a super tuned FSD, you want to have as many rolls as you can possibly get. Yeah, so mini is your resource for that. You know, a lot of times if I get a really good roll, then I'll go with it. Sometimes I'll do 15 or 20 rolls, but normally I keep it within probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 rolls, unless I'm really trying to just fine-tune something. Pardon me, you want to take a drink? Okay, that's high enough now. We can should be able to see the station. There we go. Pardon me. This is the slow part of doing the engineering, is hopping back and forth between stations and the engineering. I really wish they had the shipyard at the engineers. Not to buy, but to be able to transfer your ships there. I guess they don't want people storing their ships at the engineers, which a lot of people I know would. Just be nice if that was a possibility. Now, I think after we do the gunship, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And so we are getting up to almost 2 hours. Should have enough time to get the gunship down and see what we can do with that. So Shreds, I'm gonna have to check out that that half loop canyon. That'll be a little bit later though. That'd definitely be fun. After I did my a Viper build and I did dirty drive tuning on the Viper, that ended up being quite the speedy little devil. That was a lot of fun. I'll have to bring that back and go on that loop. I've done some canyon flying with that. It's a lot of fun. Just don't try canyon racing with a Viper on a 2G planet. That hurts. The Viper just doesn't have the lateral thrusters to keep it from smacking into the planet. Okay, and we want to keep somewhere between 8 and 10 seconds for our arrival time. That'll keep us from going whipping past it, the station. Oop, back where we can see it. There. Kind of line up a little better. Yeah, probably in the next, or it won't be tonight, maybe tomorrow or Monday. Today's Saturday, right? Yeah, today's Saturday. So probably be Monday. Be looking at Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to be doing another stream. We're probably going to be doing some merit hunting. I need to do some serious merit grinding, and it'll be a chance to find out if the engineering I did on the gunship was worth it, and if that's going to be viable for what I want it for, which I'm sure it'll do fine. The question is, how much ammo is it going to go through, and how many merits do I get per bullet, or per reload, I should say. Red lights, white lights, there we go. And there's our port. No fire zone entered, request docking. We have a gunship to grab, and we'll take that back and finish up the engineering. At least we'll do our last roll we have on the gunship. Yeah, earlier this week I was using the gunship to do some material mining for multi-cannon upgrades, and I was able to do, I believe, I have grade 4 and grade 5 multi-cannons now on the gunship as well. And that turned out pretty good. Seems to be pretty effective. Most of them are grade 5. But I do have a couple of the minigun multi-cannons I have to re-engineer just to get them up to the spec I want. Shipyard. See, there's only 2 ships I have here. The Diamondback Explorer, which is basically, it's like what you use your shred for. Yours shreds. I use it for a taxi to hop around the bubble. Works really well. Currently, it's got 38.4 maximum, or 39.4 maximum. So it's doing a little better. This is 32. Yeah, it's 38. So that's set up a little bit lighter. I can strip this down, either of these down and derate them, and they get quite a bit more range. All right, let's pull the gunship out. Yeah, the gunship currently has 12 light years, like 11.2 or something like that. Oops. Let's get out of there. Oh, nah, that's not what I wanted. Sounds like we have a issue somewhere nearby. So 11.5 light years. Let's see. We're gonna do better than that. Don't know how much better, but we're gonna do better. I at least want enough jump range in this to get from the station where I normally harvest, or I stage, and the system where I do the merit grinding. And I believe we need a total of 18 light years to make that jump. The Fertilance that I've set up works really well for that. Oop. Look at that. A little bit of a bump. Unsafe. We were both trying to fit in the same space. I was going slow. Well, rude NPC. Farseer. There we go. Okay, while we're in Super Cruise, we'll take a peek at what I've done to this so far. I really haven't done anything on this yet. I haven't had a video shown on this yet. Alright, so currently, we need to do drive tuning on this too. It badly needs it. Alright, so right now I've got 6 C-by weave shields, and they are grade 5 thermal resistant. Okay, so that actually gives me, let's go to statistics, scroll back to the top to ship stats. Currently that gives me my thermal resistance of 33.5, which is not outstanding, but it's not bad. Got 2 shield boosters that are both augmented, or one's augmented, one's heavy duty. This is a resistance augmented, so this gives me the kinetic, a little bit more thermal, and it gives me a little bit more explosion resistance. This one should be heavy duty. Yeah, it's grade 3 heavy duty. Alright, the multi-cannons. Rapid fire modification. Incinerator rounds, grade 5. Figured that would work really well as far as comparing it with just the damage, additional damage you can do just for modules. My FGS isn't full DACA, but it's close. I've got 2 beams that are regen, efficient, grade 3 efficient with regen, but all the rest are multi-cannons. So it's not quite full DACA, but it's pretty close. I've done power plant on this. In fact, power plant is really good. I've got room to put prismatics on here if I want to. Probably not going to do that yet. Oh, it is like taking us forever to get there. So right now, like I said, I've got a lot of module reinforcements, or I got a module reinforcement in it. I don't really have a ton of upgrades on this. In fact, all the multi-cannons were set up. I've got 1 corrosive on here as well. There's thermal shock. Yeah, that's right. I've got corrosive on one of my multi-cannons, and then I've got 2 with thermal shock. So the reason I did that is because I want to... Oh, there we go. We went flying past it. But we got to turn around for it anyway because it's on the wrong side of the planet. One of the reasons I did thermal shock on multiple guns is because the heat does stack. Corrosive doesn't. The corrosive effect doesn't stack, but the heat stacks. And unless they nerf that, it works pretty well. You light up a ship, and they start getting thermal damage because, well, if they want to fire back at you, they go critical heat. Lots of fun. Not exactly, like I said, not exactly a PvP build, but I guess it might be useful for it. It's more of a go have fun and kill NPCs type setup. And right now it's, I think I got a fuel scoop in here right now because I was hopping it between a couple of systems to do some harvesting, and that's, yeah, so I got my fuel scoop in here still. The fuel scoop comes out, and also the docking computer, they both come out when I take this into for harvesting or combat. I can manually land it, that's not a big deal. But that gives me the extra space for hull reinforcements, so I can increase the armor on this quite a bit. Currently the armor on this is, I believe, 1400, and I've got 2 module reinforcement packages. So the module protection on this is pretty fair. Let's see, what do we have for... Yeah, so for armor we've got currently 1225. And like I said, when I do harvesting, I usually take the I'll take the FSD out, or the fuel scoop out. I'm doing merit grinding, so I'm not actually collecting with it. Oop, coming in a bit steep. Okay, so if you're coming in too steep, one easy way to fix that is nose down. Get a little closer to the surface, then nose back up until you can get your marker outside of that too steep range. But you want to do minimum throttle, because if you get below 50 kilometers, it's about 35 to 40 kilometers, you'll go into cruise. Yeah, the blaster build that Vindicator Jones did is very nice. I might have to do a different federal gunship for that. I like the DACA build, so I want to kind of keep that, but the blaster build that he did was really good. Of course, I have more or less a blaster build on the... Well, I got a rapid pulse build on my FDL right now, and that's a lot of fun. Can stay out for hours without worrying about running out of ammo. Oop. Request docking. Yeah, I know you can swap the weapons, but it gets to be a bit of a pain in the butt to do that as well. And if I do a blaster build, I don't know if, well, yeah, bi-weaves work pretty well with that also. But I tend to, once I get a ship really dialed in, I don't like to change too much. I haven't tried the rapid bursts yet. I did have 2 burst lasers with kinetic damage. They were overcharge. I'll have to look at them. I've got them on my DBX. But yeah, they're overcharged, and I did the kinetic damage for the experimental effect. It lowers the damage a little bit, but with the rapid fire, it increases it. Oh no, sorry, I did do rapid fire on those. Yeah, they strip shields crazy fast for a small ship. Yeah, I'll have to do a a different stream about that one, or a different video about that. That is a fun little build. The multi-cannon doesn't do as much damage as I'd like it to, so probably go with burst on that as well if I can get away with it power-wise. But I have a corrosive mini-cannon on it for hull. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff we got to do this. First off, we got one roll left on increased range. Unfortunately, whatever we get on this one is what we're stuck with for the moment. Like I said, I'm not doing exploration with this, so I don't care about having the best on it. I just want to have much better than what I've got. Oh, I actually I got a decent roll on this. Well, a little longer boot time, I can live with that. Heck, let's take it. So now, alright, we got 17.6. That's a pretty good improvement for this. In fact, I would put that in the grade of usable. Still going to transfer it to systems that I want to use it at. Alright, so I don't care about the sensors. What I do care about, and shield boosters, I've already dealt with that. Thrusters, I want to get, let's do some drive. Let's do dirty drive. Because this really needs the performance. And I got a few rolls to dial this one in. Got 10 rolls total. Hopefully we don't make it too heavy because we will lose jump range. Ooh. Integrity went down a bit. Mass went down, that's good. That's not bad. The optimal multiplier is at 18%, so that's an 18% speed boost. Let's apply that one and then we'll see if we can fine-tune it a little better. And that should give a lot better performance on this brick. So one thing I don't like about the gunship is it is a brick. Ooh. An additional 1%. Integrity went up 9%. I like it so far. Integrity went up 12%. Although mass did increase 1%. This is all about performance, not jump range. So, let's go ahead and take that, because I do like that. We got that maxed out. I think that's pretty good there. I already have long range scanners set up on that. Shield boosters already have grade 3. We're not touching those. And power plant's already grade 4. Which I didn't really need to do that. I should have probably went shielded on that. But this is just playing around with it to see how I can get it dialed in. Alright, let's go see how this handles now. So we've got 17.5 light years, 17.4 loaded. That's a lot better than the 11 I started with. I might have to redo the drive tuning, the dirty drive tuning on my Python also. If it works real well for this, the Python should be an absolute screamer. I did clean drive tuning on my my Fer-de-Lance because the Fer-de-Lance is really heat heavy. So let's see, power to shields and engines. Too bad it's like dark right now. Be better, a little easier if it was light. We could see what we had to work with. Okay, let's get the landing gear up. Now, Krillin's not here this time. He's actually got some family things going on. So I decided, yeah, just come up and do a little bit of engineering and see how that works. Okay, I'm going to go to the lighter side of the planet. I want the sunny side of the planet so I can see what I'm doing here. And we'll go go find a canyon to play around in and see how it handles. Well, while I'm trying to get to the lighter side of the planet, yeah, give me some feedback on the stream if you would. And appreciate it. Thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Maybe a little more in-depth on the engineering, or just any other Elite Dangerous content that sounds interesting. Kind of playing around with I've been getting a lot more traffic on my channel on Elite Dangerous, so I'm going to focus on that for a while and see where that goes. And again, I do appreciate the feedback on being able to make better content as well. Okay, let's see what the planet is doing for us. Oop, almost went back in atmospheric. But yeah, I do like the dirty drive tuning that this ended up with. Okay, that blue marker will let you orbit at whatever altitude you're currently at. Alright, we should be around, there we go. Lots of details, lots of landscape details. Oh, and look, a render texture patch. It's a texture patch that has not rendered in. There it goes. And that one's kind of trying to render in. Oh, trying to render in the detail. Hopefully it renders in by the time we drop out of Super Cruise. Ooh, canyons. Not light here, but better than nighttime. Alright, see if we can get out of this little patch of darkness, but I do like the landscape here. Well, it's not as fast as the Asp. 340-ish, but that's not bad. For an FGS, that's pretty good. $362 on boost, that's really not bad at all. Let's get over here where it's light again. Now, one thing I do like about this ship is you can also put a fighter bay in it. Don't have one in it at the moment, but that is something that I'm going to entertain later. It's not needed right now, but it might be a good way to, while I'm doing the merit harvesting, use the fighters to help level up my pilots. Or my pilot, because I have a pilot. There we go, we got light over here. Some big canyons, too. This is a big canyon. Good size, real good size. Be fun to bring a fighter into this. That'd be another good use for this. Bring a fighter down in here and just really play with it. These little condors are speedy little devils. This definitely doesn't fly quite like a brick anymore, which is really good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That was a really good tune on this. For grade 3, that's really good. Well, I think I'm going to end this here then. Not going to hit anything. Not bad at all. Oop. Eat the engines. Playing with the camera suite a little lately. Yeah, let's see if we can get a good departing shot. It is black so that it's kind of hard to get a really good lit shot of it. That's probably the best we're going to get. Let's adjust the camera a little bit, because why not? There we go. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining today, and hope somebody got something good out of the stream. That's the whole point of doing it. And I guess I'll see you in the next one, so fly safe and enjoy it in the big black.